I won't pray for you like you'd hoped I'd do. I'll just wait.
Everything went downhill. That's when things really got bad.
Know you're hanging by a thread, but all those creatures in your head, they won't leave you when you're dead. You've got to learn to banish them. There's no priest who'll help you now, you refuse to take their vow. What kind of help will you allow? You've got to learn to trust your doubts. And I won't pray for you like you'd hoped I'd do. I'll just wait for you to come around. When your knees begin to bleed, just know their love is merely greed. It's a madness that you feed. You're not a liar nor a cheat. Still I won't pray for you like you'd hoped I do. I'll just wait for you to come around. No, I won't pray for you like you'd hoped I do. I'll just wait for you to come around. You won't be raised up, you won't fall down. Darling, there's no middle ground. You won't be raised up, you won't fall down. Darling, there's no middle ground. You won't be raised up, you won't fall down. Darling, there's no middle ground. You won't be raised up, you won't fall down. Darling, there's no middle ground. You pray and you pray, it still prays on your mind. You pray and you pray, it still prays on your mind. You pray and you pray, it still prays on your mind. You pray and you pray, it still prays on your mind.
東京へ行きますを漢字で書くとき、漢字とひらがなの両方を使っていきますと、
Everyone's running like they stole a dream. Images of magazines. Take your chance while you're still young. Glory flickers like a candle in the desert sun. Wasted time on an overpass, watching how nothing lasts. The streets are filled with a hollow glow. The bellies ache where shallow hungers grow. Where do you hide on a quiet night when your fears are nestled by your side? The TV screen burns too bright. You sit and talk, ghost behind your eyes.
Child, I know you're hurt and you can't let go. It's not your fault and you don't deserve all the bad and the hurt. I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. All your life you've tried to be good man inside. Did everything that you thought you should. Didn't seem to do you any good. I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time.
おー、美味しそう。いただきます。いただきます。乾杯。すごく美味しい。嬉しい。ありがとうね。できるだけ早く元気になりたいのもいつわからない。ごめんね。
Okay. So I've been putting off doing this video for a while because I wasn't really sure what to say in this update, but I've got some news to share with all of you about the disaster that is my health. And so I thought we could sit down and finish this video off by telling you everything that has occurred. And it's a whole long story, so I have a coffee here. If you want to sit down and chat with me, maybe grab a drink. I don't know how long it's going to take. So as many of you know from either seeing in our shorts that I was wearing a neck brace for a little while, or from the posts that I made in our community tab, my health has been on a roller coaster for the last 2 months now. So I'm going to take this time to give you all of the new information, everything that I know. It's been a really difficult journey, to say the least. So with that being said, I guess we should just jump right into it. So basically, we moved to Japan, and a few weeks in, on specifically October 15th, my hands started getting tingly, like pins and needles, like a numb sensation. So basically, the tingling and the numbness made me think instantly like, oh gosh, carpal tunnel, like, do I need to be careful with my wrists? Is what I was initially thinking. And so from the 15th, with that occasional tingling, I would kind of shake my hands and it would go away. And then I started doing like wrist stretches throughout the day to like try and fix that if that was the issue, because that was my initial reaction. And so it was like that for a few days, and on October 18th, my birthday, everything went downhill. That's when things really got bad. So on the morning of October 18th, I woke up, and we woke up at a hotel because we were going to see a beautiful mountain, Kamikochi, that was in our last video. And when I woke up in the morning, the tingling in my hands was constant. Just a constant tingling. I knew that day, and I had told Hai, like, oh gosh, when we go back to Tokyo, I'm going to need to go to the doctors to get this checked. We kind of made a mental note of that and then continued on our day. Mainly the day was fine. Like, the tingling was there all day, but like I felt fine. But it was on the way back to Tokyo on the Shinkansen, on the bullet train, that my feet started to tingle too. And then that's where I was like, oh shoot, okay, so it's not carpal tunnel, because carpal tunnel would not, first of all, usually carpal tunnel is not in both hands at the same time. I'm having symmetrical problems, which is very odd. So it's happened to my feet later that night. And I also, on the bullet train back, started getting sudden stabbing pains in my spine. The best way to describe it is like a knife like stabbing from the top of my spine all the way to the bottom. And it felt like that like constantly throughout the ride back. So needless to say, I was really scared. I was kind of a little bit freaked out because the rapid progression of symptoms makes it very concerning. And I searched up right away, like the tingling in the hands, the pain in the back, and like there are some very serious conditions that it could be. It's unlikely, but because of how rapidly progressing the symptoms were, I was like, okay, I need to go to the hospital, even though it's night. And so the night of the 18th, I guess now we're at like technically the 19th, I get to the emergency room after getting back from all of the commutes, and I wait for hours, and basically they're having a major emergency. I think they were in like a big surgery with someone else. And so that obviously takes precedent. And so I didn't get to get seen essentially until much later. And then when they did see me, the doctor literally said, because your symptoms aren't like life-threatening at this moment, we're going to wait to do tests for you on Monday. So please come back at this appointment time. It was like 8:30 a.m. on Monday. So they wanted me to wait 2 days. And that's okay. Like the x-ray and MRI, they couldn't do them that night. It was just impossible. So there was nothing else for me to do. They didn't seem worried. So I was like, okay, I'll go back to our apartment. I'll rest and see if it gets better. I should also mention that of all of the visits I made to that hospital, the most expensive one was that visit. Like my MRI, which is a very expensive procedure, my MRI was cheaper than that emergency room visit, despite the emergency room visit literally doing nothing to help me at all, which was like, I was really like shocked when I saw the price, but I was like, oh gosh, well, that's how it is, because I end up having these problems while I'm here. Anyways, so my symptoms were basically unchanged for the next couple of days. I went back on Monday for that appointment. At that appointment, we got an x-ray done right away, specifically on my neck, because the doctor believed that since the tingling started in my hands, that was the first symptom, that a pinched nerve or something in the neck might be the cause. The x-ray did show that technically there's 2 bones in my neck that are very close together, and so based on that information, he was like, oh, there could be a nerve being pinched here. So that's why I was wearing a neck brace. I got the neck brace right away, and I was told to wear that for a week and see how my symptoms changed. We also took a blood test. We were going to get the results for that next week too. So the really awful problem that appeared next was I found out that wearing the neck brace really hurt. It made my back pain a lot worse. And so I didn't realize at the time that it was the neck brace's fault. And also my symptoms were getting worse. So the tingling in my feet went up to my knees. And so I had tingling and numbness, sometimes numbness all the way up to here. It gets worse as I walk, and it was in both legs symmetrically. And in my hands, it was up to my elbows. And I even had tingling in my face sometimes too. And not only that, but a burning sensation in my legs that like it kind of felt like I was on fire almost. It was very, it was very unpleasant to say the least. I went back to the hospital then because the symptoms were getting way worse, like to the point where I couldn't sleep because it was so painful. And that's when they were like, okay, it might be something more than the neck brace problem. And that they scheduled me for an MRI. And also we did have the blood work back and my blood work was normal. And so basically the blood work being completely normal rules out a lot of issues. And specifically like diabetes or something with like my blood sugar would have been weird if it was pre-diabetes or diabetes causing the tingling. We didn't think it was that anyways, but it was good to rule it out. That brings us to waiting a whole week to get the MRI. They did give me medication that basically numbed my nerves. I found that it kind of made me feel worse, but anyways, that was the medication that I was on. And so basically a few days more passed after that, and I haven't gone for the MRI yet, but I took off the neck brace because I was like, my symptoms all got worse from the neck brace. And so I was like, maybe for some reason, straightening up my back makes it worse. That's what I was thinking might be the problem. And taking off the neck brace did actually ease my back pain. And my back pain basically got better. From taking off the neck brace from then until now, my back only hurts like riding buses, like with the shaking, or it hurts like lifting heavy things. Anyways, with taking off the neck brace and resting a lot, my back pain went away, but the tingling was the same. But I went for the MRI. We got the MRI done, and then I waited another week for the results. And when I went to the doctor to see it, by that point, actually, my symptoms had dulled down a lot to where it's just tingling back in my hands and my feet like it was back on my birthday. And that's when I got to know the results for the MRI. And I was absolutely shocked because it was completely normal. So basically the doctor, with the x-ray, the MRI, and the blood tests, all of that information gathered, he believes, or like his educated guess is that the back pain and the tingling in my hands were separate issues. Makes a lot of sense considering that my back pain's gotten a lot better, but my tingling in my hands right now, I still have it. We've got a normal blood test, a normal MRI, an x-ray that showed neck bones a little close together, but doesn't seem like my doctor doesn't believe that it's an issue. And also I don't have the symptoms of a pinched nerve. Usually a pinched nerve would appear in one specific hand or one specific, like a shooting down symptom kind of feeling. And my doctor explained that it was unlikely. Basically, after that, all the tests were normal. All we could do was take medication for the symptoms and wait a month and see how they change. And so basically we waited a whole month. So all of November until the end of November. And so I had tingling in my hands and my feet for that whole month. It never went away. And when I went back for the final visit, basically the doctor said, like, because the tests all came back normal, like he doesn't know what it is. Basically there are some more tests that we could look at, but the doctor doesn't know if they would really, like, he didn't really have any recommendations for tests. He didn't think that they would show anything helpful. Basically, all my doctor could say was that an autoimmune condition could not be ruled out. So, like, in the future, I should get tests for that. But that the blood test and the MRI were normal. So whatever it is, it's not immediately threatening, which basically leads me to where we are now. This has been, honestly, an awful journey. That was my last appointment with our doctor in Japan, and I'm gonna wait until I get back to Canada to do any extra tests, because in Canada, basically any of the tests that I want to do are free, and Hai and I can't afford to keep going to the clinics and the hospitals in Japan because I had insurance which covered the first 2 visits, but I don't have like the national insurance that Japanese citizens do, or that Hai does, being on a student visa. So basically I don't really have any insurance from now on because I used it for the first 2 visits, and every visit after that was just, it all amounted to nothing. So in March, I'll go back to Canada to get a proper visa to stay in Japan for the rest of the year. And during that time, I'm going to see if I can get any tests done. Canada does tend to have long wait times, but I'm hoping that I can get a couple tests done while I'm there to see what the problem is. Basically, as of right now, it doesn't seem to be something very serious with my health, just something really, really unpleasant. And okay, so this part's kind of awkward to say, to be honest, but I have been receiving messages from people who were saying like, oh, how can I essentially send like gifts to help you, just to answer some of the questions that we were getting in those. Please don't feel like you have to at all send anything or don't feel pressured at all, like because you feel bad for my situation. But essentially for the people who were thinking about helping like or supporting us during this kind of difficult time, the best thing that supports us directly is YouTube memberships or super thanks. If you did want to support us, I would rather you joined one of our memberships like for 1 month or however long you want to support us, because at least that way you're getting extra videos and you're getting something. I'd rather you didn't send us super thanks. I would rather you got something for supporting us. But basically, they do make a big difference because, to be honest, we don't really make anything from YouTube. Everything that we do make comes from memberships. A lot of our videos actually do get demonetized, even ones that I don't expect to. And so basically we don't really make anything from YouTube. We make everything from memberships. That's how we pay rent. And that's also how we're gonna have to pay off all of the medical stuff. I just wanna say thank you to everyone who does support us through the memberships. If you don't, please don't feel any pressure to join. Seeing all of the messages of love genuinely were so helpful, especially during that time. And I wish that I could respond properly to every person too, but my hands, like the more I use them, and same with walking, the more I use them, the tingling gets worse. And I find that sometimes they go numb, and shaking it usually gets the numbness to go away, but the tingling is difficult to say the least. And I've just been exhausted lately, and I struggle to sleep because I wake up in the middle of the night because my hands or my feet went numb. The numbness, at least, it goes away after shaking them. So yeah, basically that's been my nightmare health journey since coming to Japan. The universe was like, happy 27th birthday. On your birthday, you get to visit the emergency room. And so that's been my life now for the last 2 months. And for the foreseeable future, I will probably be having this tingling. Luckily, the back pain is basically gone. Like I don't really have much anymore. So hopefully the tingling fades too. I do want to reiterate one last time. Thank you so much to everyone who's sent a message on our posts, everyone who's going to be sending a message on this video, everyone who's checked in on us and sent the emails that we've read. I can't even describe how much it means to me that I'm trying not to get emotional, but I can't even describe how much it means to me to have read all of those messages and to hear all of your stories too. There was a lot of messages from all of you telling me about your story. It did feel nice to connect in that way, although not a happy thing to connect over, but it did feel nice to connect with all of you in that sense where we all have our struggles, and I can't express enough how much it means to me. So truly, thank you so much for all of the messages. And lastly, I guess this brings us to my theories and what I think might be the problem. So the doctor said that the back pain and the tingling in my hands are likely separate issues. And so my best guess after researching online, which is probably as good as anyone's guess, possibly like a small fiber neuropathy issue. So basically, maybe I got sick and I didn't feel it, but my immune system had a response that is lingering in my body and causing the tingling. And I read that that happens in people and it can last months. And so if that's the issue, that's actually great because it means it'll go away. Or an autoimmune condition, but I'm hoping it's not that because that would be very scary. And I mean, I will get tested for those when I go back to Canada. For the back pain, I think that it was probably just posture related. I think that I sit a lot when I edit. Some days I literally edit from the morning until nighttime. So I could see how like maybe I'm not stretching enough. I think that my back pain was probably posture related. And now that I've rested and kind of been stretching more, I think that my back pain is getting better. So basically just to finish this off, I wanted to apologize to everyone specifically about like not being able to respond to every comment as often and as lengthy as I used to. It's been really difficult to just do anything, honestly, with the hands, like, and the tingling gets really bad. And so like I take breaks and just the more I basically use my hands and my feet to, like the tingling gets bad. And so I'm really sorry that I'm not responding as as often as I used to. If things get better, I hope to return to like how things used to be. I also want to apologize to everyone about not posting every week as usual. I was really disappointed when we have so many fun memories that we had made and so many more that are going to come out after this video too, that I'm not able to post every week like we used to because I'm just so slow, like taking breaks when my hands start to get numb, or honestly, that's the biggest drain in time. And so I'm really sorry that we can't get the videos out every week, but I hope you've all been enjoying our adventures and our new life here, and I'm going to try my best to upload as much as possible. I just, it's been hard to do much lately, and honestly, I've been feeling a lot of exhaustion in general, which may or may not be related to the tingling hands, I don't know, or just maybe stress because of this whole situation. I appreciate all of you being here with us, and I appreciate all of you leaving your kind messages and supporting us through this. I would also love to hear if any of you do want to continue to share your story or share more of your story. It does make me really feel connected in this way, and so if you did have anything else you wanted to share, a lot of you have shared so much already. I do read them and I do appreciate them. I guess that's really it. That's the whole health update. This is going to be the last that I'm going to talk about it, unless there's some major change, like I know what it is or that it's gone away. Essentially, from now on, you can assume that things haven't changed unless I make an update. I felt like it was necessary to include this in a proper video because community posts can kind of not reach everyone, and then some people saw the first one but didn't see the second one, so they missed the update there, and this way everyone has the full story, you have all of the information. It's kind of a nightmare. I'm honestly very, very glad that I waited to make this video, because if I had made it in October or November, I was very stressed and also very emotional, and so at least this way I could kind of look back on this and kind of be smiling during it, even though it's been an awful experience, but like this way, I don't know, at least I could make it into a bit more of a positive video, because if I had made it last month or the month before, oh my gosh, I would have not been in the place to talk about it. That's going to be it for this health update. And for this sick day video, has been very sweet. As you saw in the video, he's been taking care of me, and luckily I'm basically better. I'm back to normal life. Just I have to take more breaks than I used to. Like I go to the gym, I'm doing all the normal stuff that normal people do. It's just when the tingling gets bad, I have to take breaks. I'm getting back to normal life, and hopefully things get better from here. Thanks everyone who watched all the way to the end of this video, and thank you so much for always supporting Hai and I. From the bottom of our hearts, it means the absolute world to us. This community means the absolute world to us, and I don't know how I could have even gotten through any of this without the support of all of you and your kind messages. So really thank you. Like, I can't describe how much it helped me, honestly. From now on, we're going to be getting back to normal videos, hopefully. I'm going to do my best to get them out every week, but we might have bi-weekly videos for the foreseeable future. Sending you all so much love, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.
But don't give up, just hold on tight. It'll be alright.